Blue and Gold Illustrated here at Cincinnati Anderson High School, sitting down with Notre Dame 2019 offensive line target Zeke Correll. So, let's move on to the recruiting aspect. You just made a trip to Notre Dame recently. How was that visit? What kind of stood out to you about this trip to Notre Dame? Because I know you've been there before.
Yeah, that was amazing. It was definitely worth my time. I got to go meet some of the players, got to know them a little better, and really Coach Quinn. That was the most important part of the visit, in my opinion. I've met Coach Quinn before, but it was really short talk, and to get to know him better and be around him, see what he's like, possibly how he coaches. That was a major key.
Yeah.
That was a major key for me because you're gonna be around that guy forever, all the time, all day, every day. That is your mentor. That is your guide. That is your counselor. That is that is everything. So if you don't like the offensive line coach, then you won't want to be at the school.
And with Notre Dame, I know you had a good relationship with Harry Heastan, before he went to the Bears. Heading into this visit, before you met Coach Quinn, did that, did him leaving kind of impact, how you thought about Notre Dame at all? Because I know you were, really high on them before.
Yeah, that was a little upsetting because I know the guy he is. He's a great guy. He loves his players, and he's obviously an amazing coach. But meeting Coach Quinn, I'm not disappointed. I love the guy, so I'm looking forward to my recruitment with him.
So, just what was kind of Coach Quinn's, main message to you when you were up there this past weekend for their junior day?
As recruitment or like?
Yeah, recruitment, just message in general, things like that, kind of all that.
He said he wants me to enjoy it and, don't make any hasty decisions, but he's talking to me about my game and, what I may need to work on and what he likes, and kind of coaching me even though he's not my coach yet, or if he will be, so.
Yeah. Besides Coach Quinn, what were, besides meeting him, of course, what were some of the big things about that trip for you?
I got to be with my brother. He goes to Notre Dame's law school, and it was fun to spend time with him. But just the people there, it's something different. It's not they're bred differently. I feel like they're more genuine and kind there than anywhere else. I'm saying the community as a whole.
And just now that you've been back to Notre Dame the second time, did this trip impact your interest level in them? Like you said, it kind of hurt when Coach Heastan left, but so this kind of get it back to where it was before he left.
For sure.
And with your brother being there, does that play a role in this recruitment process at all? Or
really.
What does he tell you about Notre Dame at least since he's there for law school?
He wants me to go what's best for me, but obviously it'd be a little more special for him. If he got to go back and hang out with his buddies if they're still around that area. So.
And besides Coach Quinn, did you get to spend much time with any of the other coaches, maybe like Coach Kelly?
Coach Kelly and my parents and I, we talked for probably about an hour or so. So yeah.
So lengthy conversation. What was kind of Coach Kelly's message to you? What's kind of your impressions of him so far?
I like the guy a lot. He was talking about their program and how they make their guys, make their players into men. And how they develop them fully from being an 18-year-old kid to a grown adult that is responsible and loves to compete, loves to be a winner. So that's important because I don't want to go somewhere and feel like I'm the same place I was at and get treated like get everything handed to you and you don't know how to do anything when you come out of college.
How meaningful was it to actually have like an hour-long conversation, not a quick 10-minute meeting, get in, get out type deal?
It was good. I got a lot of information out of it, and I'm not saying I wanted to hear things from him. I never ask any coaches, will I play at your school or will I start freshman year? Because those are questions they can't answer you. If you're good enough, you'll play. But you just talking about how he develops his guys and makes them into men, and how they obviously want to compete for a national championship. So.
And with Notre Dame in general, now you've been there a couple times. You met Coach Quinn again. What do you really like about their program? What kind of just comes to mind when you think about them?
When I think of Notre Dame, I think of gritty and tough guys, and I think of a tradition that needs to be kept and maybe boosted a little bit. So.
Does that offensive line tradition that they've had, especially recently, they might have 2 more first-round picks in this next draft. Does that kind of interest you even more, knowing that if you do go there, that you could kind of develop into one of those guys?
Yeah, well, they're definitely known for being a great offensive line school. They just won the award for having the best offensive line in the country out of any school, and you know, if you go to Notre Dame, you can be developed into an NFL lineman. That's just how it is. And so I haven't seen Coach Quinn coach yet, but if you're the offensive line coach at Notre Dame, you're a good coach.
Is that kind of the next step for you with your relationship with him? You know, seeing how he does.
Spring practice would most likely be my next move.
Okay, so you're going to try and get up there again for spring practice. Yeah. Would that be for an official visit or another unofficial?
I would say most likely unofficial for spring practice.
So when you get back up there, you know, besides that, is there anything else you want to see more of or get a better feel for?
Not really, honestly. I want to see him coach.
And, you know, you've been there 2 times now. You know, just where do they kind of stand in your overall recruitment right now?
They're at the top. They're all fighting for it right now, but they're at the top with, I'd say right now, Ohio State and them are kind of tied right now.
Kind of tied at the top?
Yeah.
So besides those 2 programs, is there any other programs you feel are kind of like right there, maybe just right behind them?
Yeah, I need to visit Clemson. I haven't visited yet. I like them a lot. Clemson, Penn State. Those are 2 for sure, and I need to visit Clemson soon.
Yeah. So with those 4 programs, are those the ones you feel are pushing the hardest, and are there any others that are really making a strong push for you?
They're pushing hard. I'd say Kentucky is, and I mean, I need to visit more schools to understand what I want to do. So.
And, you know, obviously with, you know, you being from Ohio, being an in-state kid, obviously I'm sure a lot of people ask about Ohio State. And, you know, is there a strong push? Do you feel that to, you know, stay in-state and go to Ohio State, or?
Obviously the fans they would love that, but I'm trying to go where I feel God wants me to go. So if He wants me to go all the way over into California, that's where I'll be. So.
And besides Notre Dame and Clemson, 2 schools you mentioned, you know, you want to try and get back up to this or get to this spring. Is there any other programs you really want to make it out to?
I'd love to go to Stanford. I'd love to visit Stanford. You know, that's not a cheap flight over, but I need to visit Stanford because that'll be an awesome experience just because of the academic prestigious, you know, program, and obviously they're a good football team as well.
Yeah.
So.
And, you know, with your recruitment, you mentioned these schools, you know, Ohio State and Notre Dame are kind of sticking out, Clemson too, but is there a timeline that, you know, you want to make, I guess, like a top 5 or anything like that, narrow it down and kind of, you know, focus on a set number of schools?
Yeah, I would say within the next couple months I'll be doing that.
Okay. And once you do that, is there another, like, do you want to say, hey, I want to commit before my senior season, during it, or does it kind of go with the flow?
I'm just going with the flow. So.
And so when you go to make that decision, you know, whenever it may be, you know, what are going to be those, you know, influential factors that make you think, hey, I just need to go ahead and make a decision and go to this school?
I'd say the first thing would be the culture of the school. I don't want to go to the place where I feel like I don't fit in or I don't mix well with their guys or fit the program at all. And the second thing would most likely be just like a sense of family. Like if I wouldn't want to go somewhere where I, you know, don't like a coach or don't like the guys at all, and I want to go somewhere where it feels like a strong bond between the players, where, you know, make those lifetime friendships, and that would be very important. And the third thing would be how they produce their guys. How do they develop their players? Do they develop them into NFL players, or they kind of just play college and they're done? So. And,
you know, just lastly, you know, how has this whole recruiting process been for you? You know, you got some of the top schools in the country coming after you. You know, what's that been like? You know, meeting with all these coaches, you know, just visiting all these schools.
It's been an awesome experience. It definitely has been very stressful at times. Definitely, in January was crazy at school, but it's fun. I've learned a lot from it. So.